Yeah, hi. So where do you get the pallets? Well, any business park. Any business park you have always have some dumps where they dump the pallets, especially if they do any sort of construction or production. They will have lots of pallets laying around. And those pallets are free. People just don't know how to get rid of them. And if you drive around long enough, you can find all sorts of pallets. All sizes, all makes. You can build a house if you want to. Oh, this one has nice plywood too. So yeah, if you drive long enough, you can find any sort of pallets. So now this is what we got. There's a 61 inches. There is 4 panels, 61 inches. This we're gonna put for the roof, and that's 46 inches by 46 inches, and these are like 40 by 73 and a half. So we have 3 of these, 2 of those, and 4 of that, and we have the door. And then we made some 2x4s and some bigger 2x4s. That's probably going to use for the vertical studs. So this, like, what size do I make it? I think I'm going to make it to utilize the whole surface. I'm gonna make it about, it's gonna be about 60 by 40. So that's gonna be the booth, 60 by 40. And here I have 46, which is good, which allows me about 3 inches on each side. So I can put the verticals on the outside, and then the roof is going to cover everything from the top. Now I'm not going to make it all 61 inches. I'm only going to go by what I have here, which is about 40 inches. So it's going to be 40 inches. Kind of like that. Yeah, kind of like this. 40 inches here. 40 inches here. Yeah. So it's ready. So that's what it is. That's gonna be the boost. And we're gonna have to put that on top. And that's that. So before we start any building, of course I needed to take some pallets apart to have some usable wood. And I started by breaking them down. Yeah, with the crowbar. Those pallets, they have lots of nails. They have really lots and lots of nails. So after I opened up, after I took those big 2x4s apart, After I took those 2x4 pallets apart, I figured I'm gonna take the nails out. Yeah, you also have to separate them because some of them they were actually doubled 2x4. And once I took them all apart, next step was to pull out the nails. Whew. Each connection had at least 8, maybe 10 nails in it. So after trying a few, I figured I just gonna cut right through it. So instead of pulling nails, I just cut them off. So now I was trying to figure out what to do with those nails. I tried to straighten them out first, but I was trying to straighten them out and twisting it, they turned into screws. Ha! So now we need to build it. So first we need to build the base. The size of the base would be determined by the walls. And the next step would be reinforce the pallet. That's where the wall is going to be attached to. Then I cut it down to size. Now I am filling up with the rock wool. Make sure that you seal the rock wool thoroughly with the fabric. So the next step, we put anti-vibration pads that decouple the platform from the floor to protect from the structural noise. I just screw them through the metal right into the wood. So the thing with the pallets is that they are not exactly square. But if you look at that, they are skewed. Like if I put the straight angle here, you can have about an inch out there, and it's going to be even more. So I'm sure they did not make it that way. I'm sure that will happen, when, you know, they moved it around. So we need to shape it up. And the way we're gonna do it is really, so if this angle is out, that means I'm gonna hit it on the other angle and see what happens. And now, look, it's almost straight. No, it's not. It's now the other way out. All right. All right, close enough. So now I'm cutting the framing for the pallet walls. Okay. Alright, no nails. Yeah, so you have to set up and level 4 vertical studs. Make sure they're vertical. After that, the wall pallet needed to be extended because I want the height to be about 80 inches. And now I'm closing up the sides so I can put the rock wool in. The same way, put the fabric on the bottom, fill up with the rock wool, and the wall is ready. So now fitting it into the studs, make sure it all fits. And that's pretty much it. So now we kind of framed 3 walls, and the interior dimensions now it's about 40 inches by 40 inches. So the next step is going to be the roof, the ceiling, and the front. But as the next step, we're gonna tie up the frame at the top, and then we're gonna put the roof on that. And I'm not quite sure how we're gonna do the roof yet, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, when I started building that pallet booth, I only had the general idea what I thought it would look like and what I thought it would be like the end result. And I had to kind of improvise as I was going along depending on the supplies that I had. Yeah, once the vertical wall was set up, I braced the top, so made it one solid frame, and that would be obviously to keep the frames together and provide place for the roof. So now I want to make an exhaust over here in the roof, and for the roof I'm not going to put any glass all over there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the hole somewhere there and then line up with mass loaded vinyl, so that will provide the soundproofing. And I'm going to line up the bottom, and then I'm going to take the top from there and line up mass loaded vinyl on the top, and that's it. So the air is going to go from here and it's going to go through the cavity, kind of like exhaust in the regular house. They don't have any pipes, they just, you know, run it between 2x4s. And then we're gonna make some opening on that side. I'm not sure how, we'll figure it out later. But the important thing, I just need to make a hole over here. And I'm just gonna line it up. All right, let's do it. So now I'm lining up everything with mass loaded vinyl to provide the soundproofing for the roof panel. Alright, to be able to get up, so I need to build some scaffolding, and that's as simple as one pallet on the side and the other pallet is a platform on top. Next I'm putting the roof up. So the roof with mass loaded vinyl was quite heavy. That's okay. Yeah, setting up the roof, make sure it's all nice and square. Now once the box is constructed, so we just need to do the front. So the front has a door. The front is going to have the door, entrance obviously, and also the ventilation intake. So the door is about 76 inches. It's 76 inches. It was 80, we cut 4 inches. So we need to make a frame over here. But first, I want to do the floor. And it's good that I found that vinyl, because we're going to put the vinyl over here. It's going to be nice and clean. And if necessary, you know, you can put the carpet over there. But installing the carpet, I thought, you know, inside the booth is going to collect the dust and stuff. So vinyl it is. So we're going to put the vinyl, and then we're going to put the framing for the door, and allow. I got this extension cord. So this is going to go inside, and the plug is going to be outside. So in terms of soundproofing, the front panel would be the weakest point. So I would need to soundproof the door itself, because it's a hollow door right now. And I would also need to provide some soundproofing for the ventilation box. So now I'm trying to frame the door. Yeah, the Pallets 2x4 is not exactly exact fit. You know, sometimes they bounce, sometimes they they're just not straight enough. Next up, what we're gonna do, next step, ventilation. Now the ventilation, we opened that for exhaust, kind of, and it can be done both ways. We're just gonna provide the kind of options. And I would think that exhaust will come from there, passive, and the air is going to be blown in here. Now, in order to provide the soundproofing, we're going to put the opening over here for the fan, and the exit is going to be somewhere here. So the air is going to go in, go up, and go out over here, just like that. And that's the plan. Anyway, that's the plan. So one thing, in order to reduce the sound, in theory, if you create the channel, it's going to be like a pipe, like this, and it's actually going to transmit the sound, woo, woo, like that. So this is why if I would put the flexible pipe like this, I think the noise would just channel through it. So I'm not going to do that. Again, there's going to be the hollow space over here, and then I would probably put the blankets, kind of make a little barrier like that, out of a blanket, like this and like that. And what it does not allow the air to travel right up. It kind of has to go like a little zigzag, and that zigzag will capture whatever the noise comes in. So this is that's the idea anyway. So I would make another place like here. So the entrance is going to be over here, the exit is going to be over here. And if you put the air conditioner, you can use the same outlet and put the AC over here, so it's going to blow the cold air inside. Yeah, so all these walls were reinforced by mass-loaded vinyl. We added some mass and make it soundproof. Those flaps at the end are intentional because they designed to go inside and kind of round up the corners and also soundproof those connections. And the same with the hole. I'm not cutting it exact. I can always cut in later. But I just wanted to make sure that the fan is going to have tight fit. So mass-loaded vinyl provides some soundproofing. This is going to be a little bit like that, so it will create this channel, smooth channel to go for the air not to escape. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to show details of ventilation setup in a separate video. In this video I just wanted to put everything together from start to finish, and it should give you an idea of, pretty much everything. So here I stapled around the hole itself, because then later when I cut it, I want to make sure that it doesn't pull away. strip is going to be used later to cover the corners from the inside. So now I'm setting up those kind of barriers to direct the airflow in zigzag pattern. So that breaks the straight flow of the air and that breaks the straight flow of the sound. What I'm cutting here is acoustic felt panels, a piece of acoustic felt panels. So this is a zigzag pattern, goes like this. So I'm just stapling them to that other side of the wall. So something like that. The air is gonna come here, and this will absorb whatever noise, you know. So it doesn't have this shh sound. So now I'm covering the front. So as you can see now, the top opening is where the air is gonna be blown inside the booth.
So it's gonna go here.
And the bottom is where we're gonna put
and for this one I think I'm just gonna cut
the fan.
Look.
So now the cord is a little bit sticking out, so I need to cut out space for that. Yeah, just like that. Yeah, so that little lip of MLB at the bottom would create the isolation and also the smooth the corners so the air flows smoothly. this little piece of MLV at the top, this is just to overlap. When the next panel is going to go up, it will overlap, and this way it will provide consistent seal on the inside of the panel, the wall. Now I just need to secure the wall and continue building the rest. And that's it, that's the wall, that's the front wall. So this is how the booth looks before. We're gonna wrap it with the mass-loaded vinyl. This is just the box. So this is how it looks like on the inside. This is the hole for the air to get in, and this is where the air comes into the booth. And that top hole is for passive ventilation, so this is exhaust, passive exhaust. So now I'm lining up the fabric on the inside. This is just to decorate it. It also helps to double isolate the rock wool that is inside to make sure that no fiber is coming through. All these materials except for the liner I bought, but those little corners I got from the dumpster dive at the carpet shop. Yeah, so now I'm just measuring that to cut the sound absorption panel. So this is Acoustic Felt sound absorption panel. It comes in 2x4, 2 feet by 4 feet, about 2 inches thick, and we tested it. It's about 90% sound absorption. Yeah, you can cut it with the knife. It doesn't smell, it doesn't dislodge any harmful fibers. It's good stuff. Measure twice, cut once, huh? All right, good fit, good fit. And now I'm just stapling it to the ceiling. Filling up the rest. I'm trying to staple kind of inside the seam so I don't press all 2 inches, and so it kind of looks seamless. Oh, more or less. So next step is to fill up the holes in the roof. So for that I simply stuff it with the rest of the acoustic panels, and then the inside, to make a channel, I also put mass loaded vinyl to kind of isolate that. and you will see in a second. Yeah, this is the left side, there's no channel there. So that's the channel. And that's what it looks on the inside. So I put that, you see, muscle-loaded vinyl, it rolls around, and then I put felt. And then, yeah, that's all closing up with the felt. And it's also going to be closed with the muscle-loaded vinyl. So now for the walls. The muscle-loaded vinyl is a special kind of rubber impregnated with sand to add mass to that. So it's very, very heavy. It's about 1 pound per square foot. And that white stuff, that's the fabric to keep the muscle-loaded vinyl from ripping off. It's kind of reinforces it, otherwise it can easily tear. So this one, I use the pieces and just make sure to overlap them. And you know, the corner is being wrapped and muscle-loaded vinyl overlapped, and then I also just staple it, and after that just cut in place, cut to size. Yeah, so all corners, all exposed corners where the muscle does not come together is going to be covered and sealed. So from all three sides at the top, the booth is completely sealed off. There are no cracks. Everything is sealed off. Yeah, in terms of soundproofing, the weakest point is that front wall, the door basically. But yeah. So now to make it pretty, I'm going to put those panels, the brick panels, and first I need to apply those boards so I can have the solid attachment points, because after wrapping the muscle-loaded vinyl, it's not flat, it's not even. And that panel also, with the air inside, also gives a little bit addition to block the sound from coming through. And that little air gap also helps soundproofing. So this is the pilot corners. And we're going to see, it's going to work right here. Make a nice straight corner. Now I'm doing the weather stripping, so the door shuts tight. It's very important. It's very important to make sure that no cracks left, nothing like that. So yeah, just working just working around the front. So that little piece on the left side of the door, I ran out of panels, and and I just cut the piece from the pallet and overlay them like that. So it's actually gave an extra character to the booth, which is kind of cute. It wasn't intentional, but it looks good, I think. Okay, so on the inside though, I just used the sticky tape to attach the acoustic felt panel, which is also sound absorption. Alright, so this is a little bit tight here. I need to finish it up and make a better handle. But that's what it is. So next step, we're gonna finish the ventilation and put some blankets over there, and we're gonna do the test recording. Do the sound test and everything else. So now to the next chapter. Thank you. We tested the booth. It shows about 30 decibel noise reduction. We're gonna show the test later. When you get inside, it feels a little like you step in the ship, because on those rubber pads, but it's very quiet inside.
VocalBooth to go, a portable experience, feeling it for the lyricists. It's all around the world, and all you need to do is step into the booth, and you will see the truth, and you will see the proof. Salute to the new studio that's on the go. Spit a couple bars in the hotel before you rock a show, or you could be the new kid on the block, recorded from different locations instead of one spot.